I heard an interesting statistic the other day. The statistic was that the statistic was that now in our lifetime, in one 24-hour period, we're now taking in more information than someone did in their entire life 100 years ago. Man, that's just crazy to think about. In one day, we're taking in more information now than someone did 100 years ago in their entire lifetime. What is all this information doing for us? This is one of the things I come back to a lot is I'm not put in this world. I'm not born into this world to just be a receiver, to just be a consumer of someone else's story. I think this is a very important thing to think about, man. We spend so much time with our attention glued to these devices and screens in general now. It's like a one-way conversation that we're in, where here we are, and here comes the version of reality. Here comes somebody else's manicured and, perfectly created perspective. We take in more information now than someone did in their entire life in one day. I think I said that right. We're taking in a lot of information now. And the thing is, even Google doesn't know what's true anymore. Right? Even Google does not know what's true. So how are me and you supposed to live our life and just trust what we see? Trust the thing that we're shown, because as it's been shown now, you can find information to support any claim you make, right? I saw a TikTok of this guy. He's saying, man, there's information to support any view I have. If I want to say that coffee causes blindness, I can Google it up. And look, there's a study that says coffee contributes to cataracts. And if I want to Google up that coffee actually helps eyesight, look, there's a study saying that coffee actually contributes to better eyesight. So there's so much information now. It's literally up to you. Like, what do you choose to believe? And how is that helpful? How is that helpful for someone who actually wants to genuinely know WTF is going on in the world? I don't go consume information to try to support my view. Like, I'm genuinely trying to understand what's going on, right? The problem with all this information is that there's so much biased stuff out there that you can find stuff to support your views. But guess what? I want my views to be challenged. I'm not just looking for confirmation of what I believe is true. No. I want to know what's actually going on. And that brings me to another point and another issue. People are so invested in being right about their view that they will discount counter information that's right in front of them. They will just brush it off because they only take in what they want to believe. It's called confirmation bias. They'll only listen to the things that support their views. Look, man, the point of life is not to just be right about everything that you think. That's a big problem when I can find information to support any view I want to have. So for someone who's really trying to find the truth in life and be a truth seeker, sometimes one of the best things that I can do, or you can do, is to cut off your attention from this device. Take your attention back to your two-way conversation with life itself. We're so stuck in these screens. What about this world? We're so involved in the world coming through the screen. This world that is, filtered through filters and censored. It's a fake world that we're living in when we're living through the screen. What about this world? Right? Where are you putting your attention? When you're watching the news, it's a one-way conversation. You just show up and you consume someone else's version of reality. One thing that I find is one of the most important things to me is to have my own view of life. Have my own view of myself in the greater picture. Humans function off of stories. We're constantly having a story about our place in things. The way in which we fit into the greater scheme. If we're just living by someone else's stories, we're not using our creative power to tell our own story. Right? Does that make sense? Life isn't just a one-way conversation. Life isn't just, you showing up and consuming and accepting what's told to you. You have the ability to question. You have the ability to challenge. You perceive your own thing, right? If I'm just accepting someone else's version of reality, then guess what? I'm not using my own ability to perceive and, say, hey man, I don't think that's right. I'm perceiving this in my own life, right? If I'm just consuming what's on the screen and not taking the initiative to look for myself in the world and challenge these notions, say, hey man, I think this is actually this way. The problem is we're giving our authority away to strangers, to people we don't know, to tell us how things are. That's not good, man. As humans, we have the authority over our own experience. We have to trust our own experience, create our own story. Say, hey man, then every time I see the news, it's saying that the world is a bad place and that everybody's out to get me and that it's not safe. Well, I shut that off. And I go out in the world and I meet people and I talk to people and I see people loving, caring about one another. That's the way things are, to me. I'm taking initiative to decide what my worldview is, not just accepting yours, not just saying, oh yeah, man, the world's a bad place. I'm saying, hey man, I'll look for myself, see what I see, because we don't need to trust what someone else puts in front of our eyes all the time. You need to question things. You need to question things. You need to question things. You need to challenge things. You need to be skeptical of what's put in front of your face. Ask yourself, why is this being shown to me? What is the agenda behind this? Do these people really care about you? Or are they just trying to make money? Or they just want to get more attention? They'll tell you the worst story possible to keep you glued in, because that's what takes your attention. And what is attention? Attention's money. Attention's time. So yeah, just a great big tangent here. I listened to a podcast the other day, and it just talked about the danger of living in two worlds. He talked about how this natural world needs our attention. Our own bodies need our attention. The real things in our life, our children, our parents, our friends, our relationships, they need our attention. But we're focused in these artificial worlds. Someone else's creation. What are we creating? We're not just here to consume. What are we creating with our life? Life is a two-way conversation between you and the rest of the universe, intermingling to create something. Life isn't just you, soaking in information and never being able to put your thing back. It's a mingling, right? It's a mingling. So that's my message for today, guys. Be skeptical about what you see. And, it's harder to do when you see information that supports what you believe. We want to be right so bad. We just want to think that what we believe is right. And instead, we should want to know what the truth is. Being right is not a virtue, right? It's okay to be wrong if we really want to just have the truth. So just love life enough to not accept someone else's version of life. Love life enough to look for yourself, perceive for yourself, believe in your experience, tell your own story about the way things are. We're not just a consumer, right? We're a creator. So there you have it. Haven't done a video in a while. Feels good. Finally out in nature so I can hear my own inner voice a little bit more. Bless your soul, bless your heart, and be well. We'll see you soon, I hope.